My name is Margene Kelly. I am from Michigan. I am a cannabis patient and now activist, I guess. I have Chiari Malformation, Arnold Frank Chiari Malformation.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that illness, what that is.
They say, from what I gathered, what they told me is my brain, my cerebellum tonsils were overgrown, and there was no room in my skull, so it was putting pressure on my brainstem. And I did hit my head in 2010, and due to that, that's when they diagnosed me, because before that they could not diagnose me. They would not diagnose me, I should say. Would not. Reasons why I think the medical system and the insurance is, but okay, that's another story. But my brainstem from the head injury actually went through my spinal canal. So therefore I had no cerebellum fluid flowing through my brain that cushions your brain in case it's, hurting or hurt, and then your spine also has that same fluid that runs in one way and back up the other. That was not moving either. That was not moving, so therefore it could have built up syrinxes, was in the process of paralyzing me basically. My feet were going, my eyesight, choking on every bit of food that I ate, gaining weight when I wasn't eating, like just all the medications they were putting in.
How long have you dealt with this?
It started in about 6 years ago now, because the timeline's about 2006. I started with minor headaches where if I coughed or I raised my voice at my children, it was like, whoa, it just would sit me right down, like right down. They're called floor attacks. And it got real bad.
What is that like?
Excruciating. Like somebody was literally squeezing my brainstem and it was gonna blow up. It just,
pressure
and just like I knew it was my brainstem. I knew all along something was affecting my brainstem. I've had several MRIs, several CAT scans. Never seen one of the printed out versions of it, the impressions. And finally I just got to the point where I was on the internet. What can I do? What can I do? I needed to help myself because I literally had my physician tell me I needed to go see a psychiatrist. And then I was livid because I already see a counselor. I was at the time anyway, for my own thing, life, what they call life. Anyhow, so I was like, no, that's not it. This has nothing to do with somebody being emotional, depressed, or anything else like that. And was very mad, very mad. And somehow by a fluke, the next time I had to go in, because at this time I was going to the doctor almost every other day. I thought I was going to die. I thought my head was going to explode. Literally, I thought I had an aneurysm. So I was tested for everything. MS, spinal tap came back negative. All along, it was in my MRIs. All along. I finally got them myself. That's why I tell everybody to get your own reports. Take them home with you. Don't listen to anyone that says, don't go diagnosing yourself either. Because them doctors are not going to diagnose you. If they do, it's not going to be anything you want to hear anyway. Like, you can do better off yourself is the way I look at it anyhow. They did do surgery on my head, so I can't say they didn't help me. But it was after the point of I begged for a diagnosis for 4 years before, even 2 years before my head got hurt, and almost 2 years after till my surgery. So, they would have let me die. They would have let me die as far as I'm concerned.
But how did you find out that cannabis could benefit you?
I've been a smoker my whole life. My whole life I've been a smoker. Battled with the bad girl image, battled with the pothead image, battled with all that. But I was never such a bad girl. And when I started drinking, when I quit smoking cannabis, drinking picked up, cannabis went out. I thought I was being a better mother for my son. No. Drinking took over. Well, then I went back to smoking. Kept me away from the alcohol, kept me away from everything. It's been 14 years. 2000 November I quit drinking. Went back to the smoking. The oil is just recent for me. It is in the last year that I found out about it. Not on the RSO end and anything else, just that people were using and vaping this oil.
People were benefiting from the Rick Simpson oil?
Well, Rick Simpson's just in the last 6 months for me, but my friend here that you are, just interviewed and his girl, they actually were telling me this guy's got something, this guy's got something, this guy's got something. It was not until my dad was diagnosed in November for cancer. He's had kidney and lung 4-stage cancer, which he had melanoma on his face as well. They cut out, messed him up with, disfigured him. And then, yeah, I was doing it for him, and I'm like, at that time I was just out of Chiari surgery, and I almost died myself, decompression of the brainstem, and I wasn't getting out of bed, and I couldn't help my family. And I was just like, why did I do this surgery then, Because we found out right before my surgery that he had cancer, and I just couldn't put it off any longer because I wasn't right, So in between trying to help my dad, this ended up being for me too. So within the first 3 days of using cannabis oil, I was bouncing out of bed. My thyroid now, I just 2 weeks ago, I was told by my doctor, stop taking hypothyroid medication, stop taking my Synthroid after 22 years.
Wait a minute, why did your doctor tell you to stop taking the medicine?
Because my thyroid now is working.
It's working?
It's working, and it was a slightly overactive.
Oh my.
Yes, and little did he know I was only taking my thyroid medication pretty much every other day at that point because I knew cannabis was already working. I could tell because I know my speeds. When I'm on that medication, I can tell if I have too much medication or if I have too little. So I knew I was going the other way, so I just every other day did it, because I knew. And I went in, let him take my blood. Blood came back. The day I went in and got that blood test, though, I stopped all thyroid medication.
But you were already titrating your thyroid medicine already.
Yes, I did it all on my own.
Amazing.
I came off of Prozac, gabapentin, Zyrtec, Synthroid, and I didn't take any pain pills from after, because the anesthesiologist, I don't know what they did, but they sent me home with a bunch of medication after my surgery. November 30th of 2012, I had the decompression surgery. They sent me home within 12 hours. I was back. I aspirated from all the medication. I never even woke up from that. I woke up from the anesthesia as far as they could see, but I never came up out of that anesthesia. They sent me home. I almost died in front of my kids.
Oh my.
All the, I aspirated. I was on a ventilator. Was in the hospital another 6-7 days. I woke up to the Propanol bottle and went nuts seeing that. I said, no more. Don't give me that stuff again. They didn't want to take my mitts off, nothing. I mean, I know I was fighting them because I don't have a good thing with doctors. Never have since I was a child. Never. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm grateful, ever grateful right now to the way I feel because I didn't think I had a life after the surgery whatsoever to this oil. Whatsoever. And I'm not even... I feel my dad needs it more than me and more people that are on a deathbed situation right now because it is so hard to come by. And like you said earlier, we need tons of it. We need tons of it and we can have it. The way it should be, this should be our vitamin. This should be our proactive, preventative measure all along, no matter what. I have never felt so complete in my life right now. And I know it sounds goofy and I'm trying to sell something to somebody. I'm not. I wanted my happiness, and I got it right now. And it is because I can wake up and not be angry and mad at the world because I don't feel good no more. I feel great. And even when I don't feel good, I still get up. It just does something. It does, you feel it too. You feel it working. When I started with my thyroid, and I do swear to this, I rub it in my throat, and within the 2 or 3 days, this knot that I've had in my throat for the last 20 years, just kind of went away. I don't know how to explain it, just not there. I couldn't do this before. Without, couldn't do that. I could not. I couldn't even do this myself. I can totally touch my throat, and I couldn't swallow foods. It's horrible. When you're eating and you feel like everything you eat, you're going to choke to death. I don't know if anyone, I'm sitting there listening to Regina too out there with her situation and the desperation, and I don't have the stomach problems. It wasn't that. It was my brain and hypothyroid and manic depression and stuff like that. But man, the manic depression comes from all the sickness we're living in.
Doesn't it?
And
it sure does.
And what was it? Touch base with that. Oh, her desperation of how she felt back then. Nobody understands that unless they're super sick and they feel death is at the door. you know, and to feel death at your door, that's frightening. It makes you learn real quick. Do you really want to live or do you really want to die? Because some people walk around, I did that, I was another one. I just want to die. I just, you know, crap on that, you know what I mean? Don't feel like that. There is answers, and I always knew that too, by never taking no for an answer, ever. So, I mean, that's my story. I'm 22 years of hypothyroid medication, Synthroid, all that stuff. Thank God I never got addicted to narcotics because I can't take them. Pills never have agreed with me. So I guess I'm the lucky one out of a bunch of us, but they've never agreed with me. So there was no way I was getting addicted. But I suffered, you know. I guess that was a good suffer because, like I said, I have relatives. Every one of my relatives is dead because of illegal drugs, illegal prescription drugs. Let me re-clarify that. Because in some states, this cannabis is still considered a, class 1 or Schedule 1 drug. And thank God for Michigan. I'm finally proud to live here. Really, honestly. I don't know what it is, but...
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
Thank you.
I hope it helps. I do.
Oh, it will. It's fabulous. That's great.